number of debates. Bring your points up and your arguments up of who you think the culprit is. And at the end of this trial, you'll put your mass decision to a vote. If you can correctly identify the Blackin, then only they will receive punishment. And everyone will continue living their lives here in the Phoenix Killing Game. But if you guess the wrong person, I'll put everyone besides the Blackin, and that person will have the right to leave this foundation. Do we have any questions before we begin?
I have a question. We've never had two bodies before, so how are we supposed to decide? How are we supposed to debate on which one we're supposed to do? Oh, that is pretty simple. The first body you find is the one you have to talk about. The second one doesn't really count. So essentially, the murderer got away with a second kill for no reason. So the murderer of the second victim can just get away with it. Essentially, yeah. But they don't get to leave though, so their murder is essentially pointless. Bruh. Well, should we start? I guess we might as well start. And you haven't said a single word this entire trial. Or like this entire day. It feels awkward. Like we've never had portraits before. We just had empty spaces of where the bodies used to be. But now we actually have an image of what they... it's so awkward. It just freaking like this entire area is just covered with bodies. These are just isolated. I'm fine with it. Yeah, so am I. I don't really care, honestly. So, what should we discuss? Well, I think it should be pretty obvious that we talk about. We should obviously eliminate suspects, being me, Gengar. No, I actually have no idea who the people were, but I know I am safe and two others. I'm pretty sure it was me, Koopa, Squirtle, and Sonic. But wasn't Iggy with you as well? Yeah, but he was knocked out. We found him on the ground, bleeding from his head. That sounds pretty brutal. Yeah, it was. So what we should pretty much talk about now is what caused his death. Wasn't it the stab? Yes, but there was another injury before he was stabbed. He was hit in the back of the head with a rock. And the murderer had to have dragged his body and somehow gotten him up onto the roof of get him onto the roof. I have no idea who has the raw strength to do it, but it could be these people. Could be you guys. It could be Gengar, Iron Man, Shadow, and Freddy. You guys are all options on who could have dragged Eggman's body up there. Obviously, I'm strong enough, but since I triggered the body, I'm not the murderer. Koopa's too weak, and Squirtle, I don't know. Squirtle's like a 50-50 if you could pick him up. And Sonic, I doubt he could. Well, yeah, I don't think he's not physically strong. Or he's able to defeat Eggman's robots so easily because he spins into them with enough raw force to destroy them. He's able to have enough speed to do damage to him. But he's like just picking the guy up. I don't know if he would be able to. But how can you rule out Iggy is not the murderer? Because we found him knocked out. I never would have found the body without the blood dripping down. Suspectively, the murderer didn't want him to be found. But I can rule out one person. What I can rule out is Iron Man. Wait, why him? Because the motive to kill was $1 million cash prize. What would he need $1 million for? He's already the richest guy in the world. Fair. So that just leaves you. So that leaves Gengar, Shadow, and Freddy. It's one of the possible options of the murderer. But just for the sake of argument, we will put Iggy as a possible murderer. Wait, what? Why? I don't think you're the murderer, but we should still put you on there just in case. Whatever. Oh, my head still hurts. Gengar, I have a question. Can you take anyone through your shadows? Wait. Yeah, I can. I don't have to get a murderer anymore, Gengar. Wait, why? Also, I can roll out 2 more people. I can rule out Gengar and Shadow. How can you rule out me and Shadow? Because the murderer dragged his body all the way there. But you and him could just either shadow or teleport to where you want him to go. Which would not leave a blood trail. Which just leaves... It has to be you. The murderer of this case has to be you, Freddy, the ultimate pizza mascot. I object to that. What? Ooh. Remember, if you have a valid argument, you may hit him. First one to collapse loses. Trying to bring in last effort to save you. You have to be the murderer. Everyone else has an alibi whether or not. But think about it. If I was the murderer, you would have seen me. Because when I walk, you can hear me. But everyone else has an alibi. Think about it. Gengar would see me. Shadow would have seen me. Luigi would have seen me. And going by that, can you really still stay on the murderer? And you would have, and while you guys were sleeping, you would have heard me carry him. So in that, I am not the murderer. Oof. I lost the argument, but It makes sense now. The true murderer is... It has to be you. Iggy, the ultimate waifu antagonist. What? How? How could it possibly be me? No, I'll destroy that evidence. Hot? Let's fight. Hot? Whoa, oof. I'm the murderer, huh? That's impossible. I was knocked out. What? You may have knocked yourself out, but it was after you killed him. What? Ugh. Makes so much sense now. How you were able to defeat him. How you were able to kill. What? While you were asleep, while you went back in, you could have faked for looking for more evidence. And while we were all asleep, you took the advantage to use your magic to kill him. And without us ever realizing it, you went back and knocked yourself out to give yourself an alibi. This is the truth of the case. Here's what happened. As we all split up, you took the advantage to go. And after we all come back, after everybody except for Eggman had returned, she was still looking for more evidence, or more weapons. And when we came back, you realized he wasn't there. So then you took the advantage of saying you went for more weapons. He must have been looking around, and he must have found a passageway that led out towards him. And with that, you hit him from behind the head. And then he fell. Dripping blood as he fell. Leaving bits of blood as he fell. You knew dragging him would be pretty hard to do. So you used your magic to lift him up. Not accounting for his head still dripping blood as you walked. Then to ensure that he stayed dead, then you put him right here. Then you grab the knife. And then you stabbed right through him. And with the blood still on his head, you ended his life. Like that. But your job wasn't over yet. To give yourself a good alibi, you had to knock yourself out. But you knew you couldn't do it yourself, so you used your magic. Grabbing a nearby object, you hit yourself over the head, knocking yourself right out, and giving the perfect alibi as you were knocked out. But during the investigation, Luigi started prying. So then you used your magic to put an end to Luigi. The very same way. The very same way that you killed him with your magic. And when you knew that he was finally dead, you called off your magic, which left a pile of blood where it went. But your plan had one flaw. You never suspected that I would figure it out. Isn't that right? Iggy, the ultimate waifu antagonist. Am I wrong, Iggy? Why are you laughing, you sicko? I knew I'd never get past you, Clay. What's the matter with you? Now I can finally show my true colors. What's wrong with you? Nothing's wrong with me. Just when I heard Monokuma say $1,000,000. Oh, that's what got me. And when that fat ass kept trying to find more evidence, I knew it would be a perfect prime opportunity to kill him. But then that damn plumber started prying when he shouldn't have. So I bashed his skull in. When Monokuma said that $1,000,000 to kill somebody, oh, I couldn't stop having my mouth water what I knew I'd spend all that million on. Man. You were one fucked up son of a bitch. Who cares? We're in a killing game, blue boy. Only the more sadistic will make it alive. Well, I think we're ready, Monokuma. Of not only Eggman, the ultimate villain, but Luigi, the ultimate paranormal investigator, was Iggy, the ultimate waifu enthusiast. So you really were the murderer. Good riddance. I love nothing more than a good stabbing first thing in the afternoon. Well, you can all leave now. Let's go, guys. As we all left the trial, absolutely disgusted. We knew that there would be another, and there was no point in trying to deny it.
But now Kitty Meow Meow is bleeding.
Danganronpa. Danganronpa.